He hopes to have a good part of those players who make up a backbone designed for days like these. There are new developments in the sports city of Valdebebas around Federico Valverde. The Uruguayan has been one of the players most used by Ancelotti so far this year and also one of those players who has barely missed any minutes on the pitch when we talk about Real Madrid's national and international matches. Valverde is at his limit and therefore in Valdebebas he is cared for like never before. The reality is that the Uruguayan footballer had been carrying out various training sessions with the white team where he had not been able to accommodate, along with the rest of his teammates, all those exercises designed by Carlo Ancelotti's coaching staff in order to take the first tie with Manchester City. All the way. Today a key step was taken. With bandages. The images published by Real Madrid around the last training session of Carlo Ancelotti's men show Federico Valverde training with the rest of his teammates but with various bandages on that right knee that has been the place to attack for the future. It is expected that under no circumstances will the Uruguayan miss the first leg against Manchester City. The days continue to advance for a Real Madrid that continues its preparation for a clash that will mark the remainder of the season like few others and where Carlo Ancelotti's men have a revenge ahead of them. Valverde in pampering ahead of the clash with Pep Guardiola's men. Real Madrid continues to train ahead of the match against City. Toni Kroos, for his part, surprised everyone in training this Thursday. Kroos is having a great season so far, showing that he still has football in his boots. In fact, according to the latest rumors, the German will renew with Real Madrid until June 30, 2025. However, Kroos still has great challenges ahead of him in the coming weeks, to the point that he has been a surprise in the last hours. In this way, in training this Thursday, Kroos debuted new boots, unexpected news that has gone around the world. The German, throughout his career, has always remained faithful to the same design, thus becoming his hallmark. However, Kroos, promoted by Adidas, has worn another version of the model that he has used for more than a decade. As reported by the newspaper Marca, Kroos decided to launch this new version of his sneakers that maintain the previous shape but opt for the gold color in the 3 Adidas stripes. Apparently, the German brand and the footballer would have in mind to debut these boots in the next Euro Cup, on the occasion of his return to the national team. That is, with Madrid he will keep his signature shoes. Proof? The midfielder has decided to try them in training this Thursday with a view to next summer's Euro Cup. Kroos has not yet made a decision, we will have to see if they convince him and he ends up wearing them with his national team. Kroos has been wearing the same Adidas model for more than 10 years, specifically a special version of the old Adipure 11 Pro 2 model. For this reason, his change of shoes has been the most talked about in recent hours. Few Real Madrid players have had worse luck this season than Dani Ceballos, who leaves official announcements for Valdebebas at this time. New training day in a sports city in Valdebebas where activity continues for a Real Madrid that does not stop despite the Copa del Rey week that we are experiencing nationally. There are news and surprises when we talk about Dani Ceballos. Carlo Ancelotti and his staff, more than attentive to the Utrerano. Today everything happened in Valdebebas to continue recovering strength ahead of a match where the Whites have more at stake than a place in the semifinals. The prestige and honor was affected since that 4-0 defeat last year and we must take a step forward in every way to reverse it. Be careful, Ceballos may have to hurry to get to set appointment. The training ended with various games on a small field. Courtois and Alaba continue with their recovery processes. As Ceballos worked inside the facilities, reported the official accounts of the bank group around an infirmary that has always been in the news since the season began. A course to forget. Few players, surely only Güler, have had worse luck with injuries than Ceballos this season. The man from Utrera already missed the Tour due to an injury in the summer and even has more starts in the European Cup than in the Spanish League. Weeks are coming where his future will be analyzed. Time will tell what happens around his presence against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Let's not forget that there are just 5 days left until Madrid meets the English champion at the Santiago Bernabéu where all the legs that can contribute to victory will be used by Carlo Ancelotti. Dani, facing the umpteenth physical problem. Arsène Wenger, former Arsenal coach, visited the Real Madrid sports city this Thursday while Carlo Ancelotti's team continues to prepare for the match against Manchester City next week. Real Madrid has a large part of the work done, at least that's what Antonio Pintus, the physical trainer of the Madrid team, thinks. Carlo Ancelotti's team played the last match against Athletic on the 30th league matchday before facing Manchester City next Tuesday in the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals. But the Madrid team exercises during these days with absolute normality and rather brief sessions because, according to Pintus, throughout the season the level has been very high. And the results seem to prove the Italian coach right. Real Madrid has only lost one league game and is undefeated in the Champions League. This Thursday's training session took place under these parameters and, in addition, included the visit of a legendary coach, Arsène Wenger, who led Arsenal for 22 seasons, among his merits being that he managed to reach the Champions League final in the year 2006, when Frank Rijkaard's Barcelona managed to defeat the London team. Now, the French coach has visited Valdebebas and has shared several minutes with the Real Madrid players, including Jude Bellingham, with whom he has had a photograph. Last year, Wenger already hinted at the English players signing for Real Madrid. In a television gathering in England, the coach spoke of the great power that Madrid is, although he clarified that now he does not spend as much on signings as before, stating that acquiring the services of a professional like Bellingham would make companies like Adidas will increase its sponsorship. Bellingham met this Thursday with one of the shamans who predicted his signing for Real Madrid and did not miss the opportunity to chat with him for a few minutes and pose with the award that FIFA has given him, along with Vinicius, for being part of the ideal 11 of the best awards from the International Football Organization last season. Along with Wenger, he has also visited the Merengue Sports Facilities. Matthias Grafström, General Secretary of FIFA. Joaquin Maroto, journalist from AS, announced a few weeks ago that the French footballer would wear the classic number that corresponds to the centre-forward, but now he confirms his information and maintains that he could wear the 10, currently in the hands of Luka Modrić. Real Madrid has a decisive Champions League match next week against Manchester City and, in the league, it has a wide advantage over its closest competitors, Barcelona and Girona. However, all eyes are on next season and, above all, on the signing of Kylian Mbappé. For his part, the Frenchman continues to do his thing in Paris, and this Wednesday he scored a great game in the Cup semi-final against Rennes, missing a penalty, with a shot against the post and, finally, with a goal that he created himself after a very long pass from one of his teammates in a textbook counterattack that the young star solved in the best possible way, as is usually his custom. The latest information about Mbappé's imminent signing has to do with the number he will wear on his back. Thus, Joaquin Maroto, who works at AS and was already the White Team's communications director, announced weeks ago that the France international would wear the 9, a classic number assigned to the team's centre-forward. However, now Maroto, who has participated in a discussion on the AS audiovisual portal, has stated that the 9 will probably be for Endrick, who will join the first-team squad in July after his stay in Palmeiras, while Mbappé could wear the 10, currently worn by Luka Modrić. This scoop would confirm what has been an open secret, and that is that the Croatian, who has brought so much joy to Real Madrid since he arrived with José Mourinho in 2012, would not continue in the team led by Carlo Ancelotti. What's more, according to some, the captain of his country's national team could hang up his boots permanently. And Mbappé would inherit his number. At first glance, the change, which contains a great feeling of sadness, Modrić is an idol at the Bernabeu, would not be seen with bad eyes by the club, since Mbappé is the footballer with whom Real Madrid wants to conquer the football market for the next decade.